subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to be in touch.
Casa de Papel, Korean version Netflix. One of the most awaited series on the Netflix platform was released in the summer of 2022, the Korean version of the Spanish drama, Money Heist.
처음 그 남자를 보곤 저승사자가 마중이라도 온 줄 알았다.
저 근데 맞죠?
뭐야?
나한테 계획 있어. 아주 큰 건인데 당신이 꼭 해줬으면 좋겠어.
Korea Joint Economic Area. Is it worth the fuss and the hassle of waiting? After the Korean movie, Parasite, in 2019 won 4 Oscars in the history of cinema, and the classification of the Korean series, Squid Game, in 2021 the most famous in the history of the Netflix platform, as it held a record watch by 111 million users in the first 28 days of its launch. The audience for Korean artwork doubled, and then the platforms became invested during it, reassured of the high views it would receive because of it. One of the works that Netflix bet on this year is the Korean version of the Spanish series, Casa de Papel, which ended last year after 5 successful seasons that achieved record views as well, and opened the door to demand for Spanish artwork, which led as a consequence, the number of works produced from it increased during the previous years. As soon as the Korean series aired, audiences and critics began to draw comparisons to see who the outcome would be, and whether or not the work was worth watching. If you are also wondering about the eligibility of the series to follow, here are the pros and cons of the first part 6 episodes of the first season that has been shown so far, and we will let you judge for yourself. Smart ideas and a repetitive story. The first point of similarity between the two works is the plot, as the story revolves around a group of skilled thieves, who gather together under the Professor banner in order to rob the mint. As for the main difference, it comes in favor of the Korean experience, which took place in the future, as it exploited political and economic affairs and the division between North and South Korea to serve the story. Before, the Inter-Korean Joint Security Area was transformed into a joint economic zone with the goal of reunification with the promise of job opportunities for immigrants, a more affluent life and economic prosperity. However, we soon witness the collapse of those dreams at the hands of greedy lenders and the greed of senior statesmen, and then the gap between the rich and the poor widens more and more. These inspiring details change the motives of some heroes and increase the plot richness and tension, so we find the professor, who has become a university professor because of his disappointment in achieving economic justice. As for Berlin, he witnessed the death of his mother as a child while trying to get a chance to live, before spending 25 years of his life imprisoned in an inhumane prison in North Korea. While Tokyo, an ambitious young woman, pursues the glimmer of false dreams, her flesh and innocence are quickly eaten by ruthless capitalism and deceived by evildoers. Will the work makers take advantage of these details in the upcoming seasons, and build new events on them, or do they waste their resources and potential? Especially since the rest of the plot, so far, is completely similar to the original story, which sooner or later will make the audience feel bored. Has the absence of chemistry disturbed the spirit of work? Park Hye-soo, star of The Squid Game, Yoonjin Kim, one of the heroines of the famous Lost series, and Jaeon Jong-seo, the heroine of the Korean thriller Burning, are some of the cast of the new Korean series, which suggests the weight of talent that will appear on screen, in addition to the success of the work in attracting a wide and diverse audience, depending on the popularity of its heroes. Despite the able performance of some, especially Park Hye-soo, who plays the character Berlin, the work lacks chemistry between the actors, especially the duets that are supposed to have romantic relationships, which weakened the heat of the drama and the honesty of the performance, and most importantly, it frustrated the audience. Could that change with the succession of episodes and the release of the second part of the first season? It is worth noting that the Netflix platform announced late last year the preparation for a new Spanish series derived from the series, Casa de Papel, to be shown in 2023, and its events revolve around the character, Berlin, who was killed in the original work, which will allow the audience to learn more about one distinguished and popular personalities.